Welcome to Dogs of the Wind. In this series, we invite you to join us in the Kruger National Park as we slow down and take you with us the long way up. Traveling from south to north and back again.
Hello and welcome to day 20 of the Kruger Diaries, the long way up and now most of the way back down. So today we packed up at Leopard and we headed on down south to Satara once again. The reason we decided to camp at Satara for a second time is because they do a very special New Year's Eve game drive. And in fact, this year they're doing a bush braai. But today we had a really nice day as well.
We are at the Leopard River. We have just left, not just, but we've left Leopard to head down to Satara for our last 3 nights. And we just stopped at the Balule low-level bridge to have a bit of a granola cup. And look at the bird life. Oh, what I was about to say was, we'll get some footage of crossing the bridge now. It's really full, really full. The water's actually going over the low level bridge, and there's a whole bunch of junk on the bridge. So the funk and junk of 1,000 years.
So Satara is of course lion country, and we were very lucky today that we managed to see multiple sets of lions.
After the cool and rainy weather in the Letaba, we were glad to see some sunshine, as were the cats, who were very happy to bask and play in the afternoon light. The cool weather can be a blessing and a curse, as the predators are more active for longer periods when it's cooler, but it's less pleasant for us, who get wet while filming. We watched these 3 sub-adult lions and a lioness roaming around in the grass, cuddling and yawning. We had found them earlier in the day and came back in the afternoon, as lions tend not to move much during the day. Murphy's Law, lions usually only start getting active at exactly the time visitors need to start heading back to the gate before closing time.
Hello and welcome to day 21 of the Kruger Diaries, the long way up. But it has been a wonderful day, very successful. We headed straight for the H6, where the 3 male lions were last seen yesterday with 1 female, and we found them on the road, which was really exciting. And they gave us a little bit of a show before they walked off into the distance. The wonderful thing about Satara is that there are such open plains around the camp that you can see quite a great distance. Even when the animals are further off into the distance, you can still see them. They're not like at Letaba, where it's so much mapani, dense mapani forest, that 10 meters into the bush you can't see anything. You can see really nicely. So it was fantastic to watch them.
Watching these four stalk off into the distance reminded us of our previous stay in Satara, where we witnessed a group of lionesses stalking zebra. After our morning lion visits, we meandered around the loops of Satara, seeing all the territorial little birds stake their claim over their domains. I love seeing these little birds fiercely defending their territorial claims.
Oh yeah, didn't I hear? Got the head streamers.
And the red eye.
Yeah. Night heron. Yeah, funny for my night heron.
Rattling testicular.
So we came back, had naps, and then we went to the pool. The first time we went for a swim at Satara. Top tip, if you want to find out where lions are sleeping and staying still, or where there are leopards denning or have kills, go to the pool, find people that are happy to talk to, and try get information.
We were very lucky to bump into our friend Ivan, who we met last year in Punta Maria. As always, he gave us top tips on where to find leopard in the area. We all headed out of the pool and got ready for our afternoon drive. Our mission was to find the mother leopard and her cub that were at the
I don't know, we'll have to check that.
A few moments later.
Nsamani Dam. And there were quite a lot of cars on the bridge waiting to see if this mother leopard would show herself, but to no avail. We decided to head out on the little loop that goes up the S40 and down the S12, and we saw an amazing sighting of hyena. There was a mother hyena feeding her two cubs, and there was a third cub, which I don't think was her cub because it looked quite a lot bigger than the other two, and it was also trying to suckle, and she was fiercely chasing it away.
Although the scene was quite heartbreaking to watch, this is actually part of the way hyena society is structured. Hyena clans are matriarchal and nepotistic, with the matriarch's cubs ranking directly below their mother in the hierarchy and outranking all other adult females in the clan. Lower-ranking mother hyenas will therefore often act aggressively towards the matriarch's cubs when the matriarch isn't around. So perhaps what we see here is the matriarch's cub being chased away by a lower-ranking female. We were rather glad to discover this information when writing the script, as we felt very sad for the supposed outcast baby hyena and wondered what would happen to it, while in reality it probably outranks all the hyenas on the scene and will be just fine when its mother returns to feed it.
Is that a grape?
Can't imagine what else it is. This is very small.
I don't think it is a grape. It doesn't have the floof. Look at the bowl. Both very, very steeply curved.
Black bills or red bills?
Black.
We carried on down the loop, we saw Amur falcons and then headed back to the bridge, and we arrived just on time. We waited for about 2 minutes and sure enough there she was.
The cub! The cub!
Leopard cub.
I absolutely went crazy when I saw this leopard bum appear out of nowhere, and then I went even crazier when I saw a tinier leopard bum come out of nowhere. It was amazing.
Fortunately, we were in the perfect position to film her and her cub as she nursed the cub just on a rock in the riverbed.
Although we had good intel on where to find the mother leopard and her cub, nothing is guaranteed in the bush, as anything could happen that might scare the mother or her cub or prevent them from coming to their favorite spots at their favorite time of day. You'll have to excuse the sometimes shaky footage. Calvin really couldn't contain his excitement. We were just lucky that we didn't take too long on the loop around the dam, and that we were in the perfect spot to film her and her cub. Thanks to Ivan, we knew exactly where to park our car to maximize our chances of seeing her. During the good 20 minutes we spent with the pair, we affectionately nicknamed the cub Little Spotty Flop, and its mother, of course, Big Flop. But we won't cheapen the moment with too many words, so enjoy the sighting, as we left as much footage in as possible.
What a sighting to end off our trip, Vince. big flop. Look at that spotty flop. Big bump, big yawn, and over the hill, and she's disappearing. Oh, there's little flop.
As suddenly as they had appeared, the couple of leopards were gone, and the traffic jam that had sprung up around us slowly evaporated.
We are very much on a high, and we hope that we'll get to see some more awesome things on our evening drive, our nighttime drive. Alright, so I will see you all tomorrow when it is 2024.
We set out in the large game viewing truck at around 10:30 and headed down the H6, past the glowing eyes of diurnal herbivores. We did stop for a few nocturnal animals, like this small spotted genet. We could identify it as a small spotted genet because of its white-tipped tail, unlike the large spotted genet, which has a black-tipped tail.
We arrived at the picnic site at the H6 in Wanatsu picnic site. They've set up nice little pet bags with candles and tables under the thatch, and essentially welcome you with some champagne. And then also they have food. They had pap, they had sauce, they had salad, they had roast veg, they had three different meats, they had chicken skewers, impala steak, and lamb chops. And then they also had milk tart for dessert. And essentially, like, we got there around about 11:30, and then we ate at around about 1. By the way, we got home only around 3. But on the way back, we saw around about 7 different lions. 7 individuals.
There was the first female that looked a little bit sad. Then there were 3 males who looked hungry. Yes, they looked very skinny, but not in bad shape. Like not too scarred or anything like that. Then there were 2 males that were in pretty good shape. They also looked a bit skinny, but they were like healthy looking. And then there was that last male, which was emaciated and really sad to see. So 7 different lions.
So it was quite...
And 2 different African wildcats.
Yeah, we actually have never seen African wildcat in Kruger before, and that's quite nice. So anyway, that was actually very, very lovely, and I think it's well worth the money. To definitely. Also, we won a bushwalk. Oh yeah, that was really cool. They gave out free prizes, so you selected things, and then up for grabs was bushwalk, sunrise drive, and a sunset drive. And Lindsay won the bushwalk. And now we're here at about 3:15. So that's our timeline. That's the New Year's Joel. It was really cool. Very much worth it. So anyway, if you guys are ever thinking about doing a New Year's Joel here from Satara, it definitely is a Joel. Lots of fun. Cool. Hello, this is day 22 of our Kruger diary. Long way up.
This is the end of our trip. We're on our last full day in Kruger. Tomorrow we will be heading out of the park and going home. We are sad but also glad to be heading back home, a little bit homesick, and it will be nice to have our own bathroom and to have a roof over our heads for the first time in 3 weeks and not have to walk to go and fetch water and do the dishes. We slept until 7 o'clock, which was only 3.5 hours, and then got up and made some coffee and we went for a little morning drive. We only racked up a species count of about 30 in the morning, which is quite low, and then we came back to camp and had another nap because it was very much needed, and then headed out for an evening drive where we also didn't really see a whole lot. The best sighting was the amur falcons. There's a whole flock of amur falcons that were feasting on, I think they were feasting on termites. They were swooping around and filling the sky. There's not all that much to report. We are going to start packing up now to make sure that we can get up as early as possible tomorrow morning. It's been an amazing trip. We have seen some incredible sightings, and I'm really grateful that we had this opportunity to travel Kruger from south to north and back down again, which has been amazing. I think a highlight of the trip was definitely last night. I'm so glad that we stayed through the rain to do our New Year's Eve drive and bush braai.
I have to realize that we're very privileged in order to do this sort of thing. And, you know, 3 weeks on the go essentially it's a hard thing to do. We hope that you enjoyed it. We hope that you followed along with our journey and you listened to us talk in our little canvas palace. It's been an amazing trip. I hope you guys enjoy it.
We awoke and packed up our canvas palace for the last time before hitting the road. We decided to head right down south for Malalan Gate, and boy did Kruger have a day in store for us. Just outside of Satara, we found this lion cub hiding in the grass. Apparently we missed the best part of the sighting, as the cub had been frolicking right in the road earlier, but we were pleased to spot it nonetheless. We then went on to find another mother hyena with her cub in the morning light. We spotted the only black-headed heron of the trip, and then were treated to a sighting of wild dog pancakes next to the road. They weren't doing much, and we had to get moving, so we went on our way. But the most exciting sighting was yet to come.
We have just stopped at, well, we've just finished stopping at Kruger. We had some brekkie at the cattle barren, and we are now back on the road. And we have just touched the H11. So we've driven the entirety of the H1 road. Quite chuffed with myself. Well, chuffed with us. I couldn't have done this without Lindsay.
And with petrol money.
Yes.
We joined the back of a long queue of cars. Apparently, a leopard had disappeared into the bush a little further ahead of us. We could do nothing but wait patiently, as the road was completely blocked. But Kruger Park smiled on us one last time, as a few moments later, the leopard emerged from the bush, right next to our vehicle. Sometimes, jostling for position at the front of the queue is futile, and sometimes, when you're stuck at the back, you just get lucky.
Hello. So we went there and we have come back again. We are 2Ks, less than 2Ks from Malilan Gate, and we are quite sad, very sad.
Even though we've spent 3 weeks in the park, we are still driving out going, oh, let's do one more dirt road.
It's true. We have travelled all the way from Crockbridge to Punda, then back to Malilan, and here we are at Malilan. I hope you enjoyed our trip. It has been a wonderful thing to do, and here we are.